Good morning. I'm headed out to the farm for wheat harvest today. If everything goes as planned, in a couple hours we're going to be harvesting wheat. Before we get to that point, we're going to have to make some adjustments to the combine. It was last used to harvest corn, and we now need to make some changes internally and on the computer and monitor to switch it over to wheat because the settings are different. And then we need to get a couple sickle sections changed on the combine header. Those are little knives that actually do the cutting of the plants when you're pulling them into the machine. So I could probably show you that, I hope. And then we also need to get both semis hooked up with the hopper bottom trailers because we're going to be hauling the wheat to Mendota, Illinois. And I could probably insert a clip here of the mill. I just took a shot of the mill. It's about 15 miles from our farm, which is a relatively short shipping distance, so we are blessed in that aspect of it. So I'm headed out there now, and I will try to catch you up throughout the day. Well, we made some plans and then they changed. Surprise, right? So I am out here. I'm going to change some sickle sections, and I'll show you how that's done in a moment. My father needs to go to the dealer to get the nav controller updated. It has the wrong version of the software. It doesn't like to work with this combine. So he's gonna have to drive about 45 minutes over there, wait for them to update it, and drive back. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna change out these sickle sections and try to get the machine ready as much as I can. So I'll give you a peek of what that looks like here. First thing you do before you ever go in front of this thing is you get that lock down right there. That is for your safety. Hydraulic system fails, that thing's not in there, combine head comes down on you, that's the end. So always put down that the lock before we get under this head here. That's a whole lot of weight coming down. You don't really have a chance against that. So you got to make sure you always do that. And then what we're doing here is we're changing these bad. So these are knives that cut. They go like this and they cut. And so right here, the tip's broken off. This thing hasn't been serviced since we cut soybeans with it. So we got to do the maintenance before we get out here. So we got a few of those like that. We got ones where just a little worn off here. We got ones broken off. We got ones that just aren't too sharp. Then we got some that are rusty, but they're sharp and they'll clean up just fine. So I'm gonna start taking those apart and see if I can get a few of those done here and get that updated before he gets back. So for the most part, changing the sickle sections has gone well. I'll show you over here how it worked out. We got a whole bunch of new ones, new shiny ones right down in there. And I got a few other ones interspersed throughout the rest of this length of this head. When I got to this end, we had a little problem. So on the sickle itself, the bolts are pressed in. So these bolts are pressed in. They're not meant to come out. Well, this one's been sheared off, so we're gonna have to probably pop that out, drill it out, and put a bolt in it, and a new bolted nut here to be able to hold that sickle section on properly. So that's the update. I think Dad's still on his way back from the dealer with the software update for the nav unit, and we're getting closer. Well, quick update. It's about noon, lunchtime, and the GPS receiver and the GPS controller do not want to play nice together. So guess what? We got our dealer guy here. We got our dealer guy here from Case IH trying to get things working for us. We'll see how it goes. It's about 90 degrees out here. Hoping we can get in a combine soon with some AC and be going. So we took our first swath off. Wheat harvest has begun. And the semi's here so we can dump when we need to. And my dad went to check the moisture on it because we do not want to keep going if the wheat is too moist. It has to be 13.5% moisture or less. Otherwise we will get docked or they will reduce the price per bushel that they pay us. So here he comes down the road. We'll see what he says. The white truck coming is him. And in the meantime, we also checked to make sure we were cutting the wheat low enough and getting all the heads into the machine, except for one little spot where we were adjusting. When we started, we did. And then we'll want to make sure that there's not too much foreign matter in the wheat in the grain tank that we're going to deliver, because we'll get docked for that as well. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated. This is exciting stuff. So the first moisture test came back at 12.3%, which is 0.2 lower than 12.5 I tested on Saturday. So we are thinking this wheat is good, and we're making our first pass around the field. I'll give you a little glimpse of what it looks like cutting it and running it through machine here. If you look in the mirror, you can see the straws spreading nicely behind us. You look down, you can see straw with no wheat heads on it and still standing up, and clover in it. It's gonna be a nice big grassy green yard when we're done here. So right now I'm just gonna check what the wheat looks like in the grain tank. Not in the grain tank, but in the grain truck in the hopper bottom trailer here. It's looking pretty good here. Looks really good. I'm no wheat expert, but I think it looks good. So we're gonna keep at it here. The mill closed, so we can't take any out until can't take any wheat to town until morning, but hopefully we're gonna finish it up tomorrow. Gonna give you a quick shot of what it looks like. Give you a shot of what it looks like actually harvesting out here. I'm on the four-wheeler and we'll go for a cruise. Give you a shot of what looks like seeing the grain coming to the grain tank behind the operator's chair. So this load here, we got one load there and one load here. We can't take them to the mill today because they're only open 7 to 4 and now it's 6 o'clock. So we're gonna tarp these overnight, haul them in the morning about 7 a.m. Then we'll have empty trucks for our roughly 10 a.m. start. When the dew dries out and the sun dries things out, we'll be able to start harvest again. And then the plan tomorrow is for Dad to haul and me to run the combine. What this load here is a calibration load. So he's gonna fill his truck mostly full. And when he started with an empty combine, and he will end with an empty combine. And in the middle, he's measuring exactly how many acres that he's harvesting and how many pounds the yield monitor thinks that he has. And then what we'll do is when we go to the mill, we'll dump this, and we'll know exactly how many pounds it is. And then we'll use that poundage against what is in the yield monitor to recalibrate the yield monitor to know how much instantaneously is being harvested by the combine. So that's what's going on right now. We'll fill the 2 loads, calibration load to figure out our bushels per acre, and we'll hope for the best tomorrow when he starts to deliver that there aren't any vomitoxin issues or aflatoxin issues. They have a number of different things that they are looking for to not get docked or to be able to even dump this as food grade at the wheat mill. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Until tomorrow, Organic Farmer out.